Yes, in this session, we'll be taking our interaction on Module 1 ahead, discussing the next topic or next concept related to the Module 1, okay, wherein we'll be interacting on the second concept, that is biasing using collector a collector to base feedback register. Collector to base feedback register. Okay, so this is the last topic in our module 1 first section. So in our module 1 we are having totally 4 sections. So out of the 4 section, so we are starting the first section. In the first section we are having only these 2 topics. Okay, so in this topic, let me revisit or restate the topic. It says that biasing using a collector to base feedback register. Biasing using a collector to base feedback register. So name itself is saying that that you want to have a feedback. You have to have a feedback in a circuit, and this feedback, the path is provided from collector to the base. Okay, with the help of a resistor. So now we'll build one circuit related to this particular concept. So let me say that this is my NPN transistor. Okay, so this is the base point, this is the collector point, and this is my emitter point. Okay, now I know that whenever I want to bias this collector part, I'll be having biasing voltage plus VCC. In order to limit the current, I'll be having the resistance RC. Okay, then emitter, it will be grounded. Okay, and now as name is suggesting that I need to employ a feedback from collector to base. So it means I'll be having one particular resistance. Between collector terminal to the base terminal. So this is nothing but my RB. Sorry. This is nothing but my base resistance RB. Okay, this is nothing but my base resistance RB. So I know that whenever I want to apply any input signal, so this is my input terminal Vi, wherein I'll be having some capacitance, something called as input coupling capacitance. Whenever I want to view any output signal from the circuit, I'll be having one more capacitance in a circuit called as output coupling capacitor, right? Output coupling capacitor. Fine. So this is my circuit. Now we have to analyze this circuit. Okay. Now you may be feeling, sir, in the previous topic, that is a voltage divider circuit or a classical discrete biasing circuit. So we were able to interact about how to set the Q point, and the emitter resistance Re was providing the negative feedback in a circuit. Then why we are using this topic, that is biasing using collector to base feedback resistor. So what's the necessity of this topic? I can say that this particular configuration is almost similar. You cannot say same, but I can say that this particular circuit is going to function similar to the previous circuit. This particular circuit ensures, this particular circuit, it clearly ensures to maintain your Q point stable. It ensures to maintain your Q point stable, because we know that whenever I want to have any output voltage, so my output voltage should have a faithful swing. My output voltage should have a faithful output voltage swing. The term faithful, what does it mean over here is, I want an output signal wherein I'm having complete positive voltage swing as well as a negative voltage swing. I'm having a complete positive voltage swing as well as a negative voltage swing. Now, if my signal is getting distorted, if my signal is getting distorted like this, so you can see some portion of my input is clipped, sorry, some portion of my output is clipped, then this kind of a signal is said to be a distorted signal. I don't want such kind of an output signals. I want output signals when I'm having a faithful voltage amplification or a faithful signal which is being seen as an output signal over here. So in order to achieve this, my Q point has to be stable. That should not fluctuate. So already you have studied it during the DC load line and the output characteristics of transistor, wherein you are going to select your Q point exactly midway of the DC load line. Because if at all if you take it somewhere near the cutoff or near the saturation, there will be some distortion either in the positive voltage swing or in the negative voltage swing. So this particular circuit also ensures a negative feedback. This circuit also ensures a negative feedback with the help of a biasing resistance RB. So this is going to employ a negative feedback in a circuit. This is going to employ a negative feedback in a circuit with the help of the base resistance RB, and it maintains the Q point stable. It maintains a Q point stable. Okay. Now let me say that if current that is going to come out of this voltage source VCC, I can call this current. I'll call this current as IC plus IB. The current, the value of current that is going to flow from the source to this resistance is IC plus IB. Why like this? Because at this node, this current IC plus IB gets splits as the current IB that flows to the base. This is the current IB that flows into the base, and the remaining current IC flows through emitter, and this becomes my IE. I hope you're able to understand this. I'm simply applying the KCL at this node, at the node C, So this current is IC plus IB, and at this node, this current IC plus IB is going to split as the current IB and the current IC, which in turn in future, while moving through or passing through the emitter, that I call it as the emitter current. Okay, just to understand how the circuit is going to behave, let us apply the KVL on input side and output side and understand the mathematical meaning, or I can say the electronic circuit meaning behind the mathematical equation. Okay, so taking the circuit as a reference, so we'll apply KVL at input loop. Okay, we'll apply KVL at input loop. Now, when I want to apply the KVL on the input side, so I need to consider the input sector. I have to consider and complete input sector. So wherein, if I start from this VCC, okay, if I start from this VCC, So, so since this positive terminal is used, so let me say that applying KVL at input loop, or you can also call it as base emitter loop. Base emitter loop. Okay, so how to start? You have to start from this terminal, a VCC terminal. So let me say this is your positive, this is your negative. So this is your positive terminal, right? Negative is grounded. Negative is grounded. So positive terminal is connected to this resistance RC. So positive terminal is connected to the resistance RC. From this resistance RC, it is being connected to the resistance RB, right? So it has been connected to the resistance RB. Then from this resistance RB, next I am having the base emitter voltage drop. So this voltage drop VBE. So this is positive, this is negative. Am I right? So I will be having the base emitter voltage drop VBE, because I need to follow this loop in order to complete a complete cycle, right? So this is your base resistance RB. Now if you want to see in terms of a circuit, then I can just show it as a voltage drop. I can just show it as a voltage drop VBE, base to emitter drop. Then from the emitter it will be connected to the ground. So this current, so here I'm having one node. So this current, I'm calling this as the current IC plus IB, and the current that flows into this branch is just I can say IB. Okay, so I'm considering only this portion of the circuit, to be more frankly speaking. So if you want the same circuit over here, okay, if you want the same circuit over here, then I can represent the same circuit like this, wherein I am having your resistance RC. Okay, so this resistance RC, so this is your VCC. Then I'm considering the biasing resistance RB. Okay, then next I'm not going here because this becomes an output terminal. This becomes an output port. So I need to consider only the input loop. So after this base resistance, what I'm getting? After this base resistance, I'm connecting to your base to emitter. So from emitter, it is being grounded. So only this loop I'm considering. Understanding? So the value of current that is flowing through this resistance is IC plus IB. So at this node, what is happening? The current that is entering into the resistance is the current IB, and there exists some voltage drop between the junction base and emitter. So this I call it as VBE. So only this portion I'm considering. Same thing I have represented in this circuit. So this is my VCC, this is my VBE, and this is the two resistance RC and DR. Understanding? Okay. So now we'll apply KVL to this circuit. We will apply KVL to this circuit. So when I want to apply the KVL to this circuit, the equation that we will be getting is, so let me say that negative to positive, positive plus VCC. I have taken this terminal. Then further, positive to negative, there is a voltage drop. So minus the current that is going to flow through this resistance is IC plus IB into the resistance RC. Am I right? Then current that flows through this resistance is IB. Again, this is positive, this is negative. It's a voltage drop minus IBRB, minus IBRB, right? Then positive to negative, negative minus VBE is equals to 0. Understanding? So with reference as this circuit, considering only the input section of the circuit, I am able to write this equation. It's just a simple KVL expression, which people are studying right from your first semester, the basic electrical engineering, right? Okay. Or even in case of your circuit theory, nothing but your network analysis. Okay. So you are able to get the expression as VCC minus IB plus IC into RC minus IBRB minus VB is equals to 0. Now if I write this expression for VCC, what's that I'll be able to get it? So I'll be able to get this as VCC is equals to, so I'm sending all these terms on RHS side. So VCC will be equal to IC plus IB into RC plus IBRB plus VBE. Now I'll take this RC inside. So if I take this RC inside, I'll be able to get this expression as VCC is equals to ICRC plus IB into RC plus IBRB plus VBE plus VBE. Okay. Now you can see here, my term IB here as well as here, it is common. So I can write this as VCC is equals to, if I take IB common, what is that I'll be getting? I'll be able to get the equation as RB plus RB plus RC into IB. So I've taken IB common outside, plus left out is what now? ICRC. Okay, ICRC plus VBE. From the first fundamentals, how the people can write the equation for IC? Because this is my input loop, no? So I want all the input parameters. IC being your output current. Am I right? So I don't want any output parameter in my equation. Okay. I want this to be replaced by input parameter. Then how you can write your IC in terms of your input parameter, that is IB? Any equations which is known to you people? Yes, good. How you can write this IC? Think. Simply don't give wrong answers. Yes, it's right answer. So I can write this IC, should know the fundamentals properly. I can write this IC as beta times that of IB. A simple reason, your collector current will be an amplified version of your input current. So your output current is getting amplified by a factor of beta, where beta you are calling it as current amplification factor. Understanding? So it means I can write IC now as beta times that of IB. Understanding? So this I can write this as VCC is equals to RB plus RC into IB. Okay. Plus, how I can write IC? I can write IC as beta times that of IB into RC plus VBE. Right? Okay. So now if I want to write the expression, for the base current, the input current. So how I can write this? So first I have to send this VBE on the LHS. So what I'll be getting? I want to simply write the equation for the base current. So VCC is there. I'll send this VB from RHS to LHS. So what will happen? VCC minus VBE. Understanding? VCC minus VBE. Then next, once if I send this term, what has been left out? So if you want in terms of stepwise, I'll write it stepwise only so that you will not get confused. Okay. So first what I will do is I'll send this VB on this side. So VCC minus VBE is equals to RB plus RC into IB plus beta times that of beta times IB that of RC. Okay. Now if you see here, again you are having the term RC, IB, RC, IB. Yes or no? So what I can do over here is I can just expand this term VCC minus VBE is equals to, if I take this IB inside, what is it will be getting? IB RB plus IB times that of RC plus beta times that of IB into RC. Understanding? So in this equation, if I take IB common, what is it will be getting? Here I am left out with RB plus. So here I have taken IB common outside. So left out is what now? RC. Okay, RC. Then I have taken IB outside. So beta times that of RC. Is equals to VCC minus VBE. So this implies, if I want to write the equation for the base current, then the base current is being given by IB is equals to VCC minus VBE divided by RB. So here what I can do is I can take again RC common outside. So if I take RC common outside, it is 1 plus beta into RC. Yes or no? If I take RC common outside, out of these two terms, 1 plus beta times that of the RC. I have taken this common because this term I am setting from this term to denominator side, from RHS to LHS, since it is multiplied. So whenever I am sending this term from RHS to LHS, since it's there in numerator, since it's multiplied, when it goes to LHS, that will be in your denominator, right? So it means I'll be able to get the expression as IB is equals to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus 1 plus beta times that of the RC. Right? Now I know that what is the value of beta. Beta can take any value such that it is greater than or equal to 50 or less than or equal to 400. So it is in this range of 50 to 400. So it means when I compare this value of beta with 1, then I can simply say that 1 plus beta is almost equal to beta only. Then why to make the system complex by writing it as 1 plus beta? Then this implies I can have a final expression as IB is equals to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta times that of RC. Understanding? So this is the expression that one should know with respect to this particular configuration. So IB is equals to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta times that of the RC. Okay, so this analysis we have done by applying the KVL at the input loop, right? So now what we'll do is we'll apply the KVL on the output loop. We will apply the KVL on output loop. So when I start applying the KVL on the output side, so let me say now, we will start applying the KVL. Applying the KVL at output loop. Okay, so we'll consider the circuit. This is our circuit, right? This is our input side. So this is our main circuit. Okay. So in case of the output loop, how I can draw the circuit? So since this was the circuit, since previously I have applied the KVL for the input loop from VCC, you have went to the base resistance from here, you have gone to the ground. So when I'm saying output loop, what you should do? Again, you have to start from VCC, then RC, then VCE, then the ground. So this will be your output loop. This will be your output loop. Okay. So if at all, if you want to develop the equivalent circuit for the same, then you can draw it somewhat like this. So this is your VCC, right? So positive, negative. So this is your VCC, and keep it aside so that you can easily understand this. Okay, so this is your VCC. So after VCC, what I'm having? I'm having the resistance RC, right? So this is the resistance RC. Then I'm having VCE voltage drop. I'm having VCE voltage drop. So that I can show it here. So this is positive, negative. This is VCE, collector to emitter voltage drop. Then later, what I'm having? Emitter is connected to the ground. Emitter is connected to the ground. Understanding? The current that flows through this resistance is still IC plus IB only. So the current that is going to flow into this section is IC. It means part of the current has flown over here as your IB current, which I am least bothered because I am not considering the input loop. I am only considering the output loop. Understanding? Okay. So now what I can do over here is, if I apply the KVL onto this particular loop, if I apply the KVL on this particular loop, okay, then what is the equation I'll be getting? To start applying negative, positive, this is a loop how we are going to write. So negative to positive, positive plus VCC, then positive to negative, negative. Okay, current that is going to flow through this resistance is IC plus IB, IC plus IB. Okay, into RC, into RC, then positive to negative, negative. The voltage drop is VCE. The voltage drop is VCE. Okay, is equals to 0. So the term is VCC minus IC plus IB into RC minus VC is equals to 0. So what is output voltage? Output voltage is seen from collector to emitter. Yes or no? The output voltage is seen between collector to emitter. So it's output voltage. So how you can write your output voltage? This implies my VCE is equals to, I'm just sending this term on RHS. So I'll be getting the expression as VCC minus IC plus IB, IC plus IB into RC. Okay, I'll write the expression once again because it's my major equation. My output voltage VCE is given by VCC minus IC plus IB into RC. Okay, so this is the expression that I'm going to get it when I'm applying the KVL on the output side. So this is the output voltage equation, and that is the input voltage equation. Okay, now what we'll do is, once we have got the expressions with us, okay, so we will try to analyze the circuit, how this particular circuit is going to operate, and how this base resistance RB is going to provide a negative feedback in the circuit. So just for a reference, what we'll do is, we will just write both our input and output expression that we have got. Okay, one is for the base current, one is for my base current, wherein I'm able to get the expression for base current as IB is equals to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta times that of VRC. Okay, and second equation, it's an equation for the output voltage. So output voltage VCE is being given by VCC, then minus IC plus IB into RC. Yes or no? Okay. So now, in order to understand this operation of this particular circuit, what is that I am going to say now is, I am going to assume stating that because of some variations in the temperature, because of some variations in the temperature or in the beta value, out of two any one condition is possible, because of variations in the beta or because of variations in the temperature, my collector current is going to rise, my IC is going to increase. Understanding? Now since IC increases, we know the relation between IC and IB, wherein I can simply say that as this IC increases, what happens here? If IC increases, this current is increasing. Since this IC is increasing, what happens to this voltage drop? The voltage drop across your resistance VRC, the voltage drop across the resistance RC also increases. It also increases. Now since this supply voltage is constant, you can see this equation. I am referring to this second equation. Since the supply voltage is constant, this cannot alter. IC into RC drop, it is increasing. IC into RC drop, it is increasing. So it means you are subtracting. This is very, very important. You are subtracting a large quantity from a fixed quantity. You are subtracting a large quantity from the fixed quantity. Now, because of which, or I can say that because of the increase in the value of IC, what happens to VC? Since you are subtracting a large quantity from the fixed quantity, what happens to VC? My VCE is going to decrease. My VC is going to decrease. Now, since there is reduction in the output voltage, what it does, since you are having a feedback, your RB resistance is being connected between your output and input terminal, that is between your collector and base terminal. So since now VCE is decreasing, since this VCE is decreasing, the current that is going to flow through the base, it decreases. Current which is going to flow through the base, it is going to decrease. IB decreases. Now this decrease in the IB, we know a simple equation. IC is beta times that of IB. Now since IB itself is decreasing, what happens to my IC? IC also decreases. So it means decrease in IB will make proportional decrease in IC. So it is compensating for the rise in IC which was seen prior. Understanding? So it means here the base resistance RB, is providing a negative feedback in the circuit. It's allowing us to provide a negative feedback in the circuit. Understanding? I just repeat this concept once again. Very, very important topic. How your base resistance RB is going to provide a negative feedback in a circuit. So as initially I am assuming that because of some variations in the temperature or beta, there is a rise in current IC which has been observed. As IC increases, what happens here? Since IC is a current which is going to flow through this resistance RC, since IC increases, this voltage drop across your RC also increases. So that is been seen here in the output voltage. So our output voltage has been given by VCC minus IC plus IB into RC. So IC into RC drop is a voltage drop which is seen across this resistance. since this voltage drop is increasing, then it means that I am subtracting a larger term from a fixed quantity. Since I am subtracting a larger term from the fixed quantity, naturally my VCE has to be a reduced value. VC has to be reduced value. So impact of that is what now? VC is reduced. So when output voltage itself is reduced, which is acting as a feedback element to the circuit. Output voltage is fed as input to the circuit. So I'm not saying entire output voltage. If at all, entire output voltage was related, then it would mean a direct short between collector and emitter. Direct short between collector and emitter. But what I'm doing, what I'm doing over here, I'm just connecting part of output voltage as input to the circuit. I'm connecting part of output voltage as input to the circuit. As your VCE decreases, what happens to your IB? Your IB also decreases. Your IB also decreases. So once your input current itself is decreasing, we know the relation IC is equals to V times that of IB. As your input current itself is decreasing, what happens to your output current? Output current also decreases. So it is compensating for the initial rise in the collector current. Understanding? So this is how my base resistance RB is providing a negative feedback. Into the circuit. Okay. So I'm having few questions over here. So I want